Greetings, ACT fans. All right, so this video is on using the sum and sequence key of your calculator. All right, and it's very handy. And here's a great example. If I said find the sum of the first 50 even integers, and I might say the first 50 positive even integers. Okay, so basically it's saying 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 all the way up, and you do that 50 times. Now, if you know the equations, that's great. If you don't know the equations, it's a little difficult. And if you're sitting there punching stuff in your calculator, it's a mistake, okay? Because it's going to take you forever to do that. Someone's going to cough, and you're going to lose track of how many you typed in. The only thing that's really a good thing to know is how to come up with a general form. And do you guys remember from pre-calculus? If not, just kind of follow along. This is the general form. It's a sub n equals a sub 1 plus d times n minus 1. Where a sub 1 is your first term, d is the common difference. Like if it's an even number, it's between 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That means the difference is 2, and n is always going to be there. Okay. So in other words, for even numbers, it's going to be a sub n is equal to 2 as your first term plus d, which is 2 times n minus 1. And I simplify that, I get 2n, I get just a sub n equals 2n. If it's odd, if it was like 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7, it'd be a sub n equals 1 plus 2 times n minus 1. And you simplify that one, and you get 2n minus 1. Okay, it's easy to check them too. You put a 1 in there, right? If I put a 1 in there, I get 1. If I put a 2 in there, I get 3. If I put a 3 in there, I get 5. So you can see it's going up by odd integers, and even the one with the even 2n. If I put a 1, it's a 2. A 2, I get a 4. 3, I get a 6, etc. All right, so these are important because now we're going to put these in our calculator, and that's kind of convenient here. So watch this. Bring up your 84. Okay, so let's do the even integers. So it's up to 50 of them. And what I'm going to do is you're going to hit second, so just kind of follow along, and hit second stat, so that the keys light up in red. I cursor over to math, and I hit 5. I want the sum, and I do the same thing, second stat, and I cursor to the right to ops, and I do sum of the sequence. Okay, because you're typing in, it's a sequence. The sequence is 2n. We don't have an n, well, we have an x, so we're going to say 2x, comma, which is right next to the x squared, above the 7. And then you're going to type in always x, because it's basically saying what's the variable. The variable is x, comma, I'm going from 1, comma, to 50, and then I close the parentheses twice. So 2 plus 4 plus 6 all the way, I'm going to do that 50 times, and I get 2,550. Okay? That's a great thing to know. And of course, I can bring, if I want to change this, and I want to do the first, 90 terms, I just cursor over. So second enter brings it back up again, and I do 90, hit enter, 8,190. Okay, really, really, really nice. Okay, again, if I want to do the one for odds, the first 90 terms, so I say second enter, and I go cursor over here. Instead of 2x, I got 2x minus 1. So you hit, if I want to insert something as opposed to having to type it over again, I hit second delete right on top of where I want to insert, and it changes the cursor now, so it's kind of a flashing line, and then I can say minus 1. It lets me enter that in. So this is a sum of the first 90 odd integers. Hit enter, and 8,100. Okay? Really, really, really convenient to be able to put whatever sum. I mean, here's one more example here, real quickly. Let's just say I gave you something like, 6, 11, 16, 21. So kind of some random sequence. And I said, hey, I want you to find the sum of the first 50 terms of this. That's brutal. I mean, what are you going to type in 6? Are you going to keep adding 5 and do it 50 times? So you're going to say a sub n equals a sub 1 plus d, which is 5, times n minus 1. So it's 50, or it's actually n minus 1, right? So I have a sub n equals 6 plus 5n minus 5. So a sub n equals 5n plus 1. That's my general term. And that's what I can type in my calculator. So I do second stat. So the sum second stat sum of the sequence of 5x plus 1 comma x, always put x in there, and let's do the first 50 terms. So 1 to 50. That you're almost always going to put the 1 in there. So 1 to 50. Close that. Close it again. Hit enter. 6,425. Very complicated if you didn't know what you're doing, if you're just trying to type in with a calculator. All right? So anyway, that's it, math fans, for that quick lesson. More lessons to come on your graphing calculator. Adios. Goodbye.